Ahoy, hoy. Welcome to day 22 of 30 videos in 30 days. Last couple of videos have been kind of shit because, God's honest truth, I picked up a bug somewhere and it has just absolutely fucking destroyed me. It has exhausted me, kind of put me on a little bit of a short temperedness from the spiritual side. And honestly, today was looking like it was going to be a remarkably similar one. But I thought about something that I think actually matters, and I really do kind of want to share about it. A very basic rule for the day, and a very basic rule for every day, is, and this is going to sound remarkably simplistic, never not be you. I realize that just sounds like a really strange double negative way to say be yourself. But there's a difference. It's really easy to tell people to be yourself. But a lot of people really can't necessarily narrow down what themself is. But it's actually pretty easy to determine what you're not. And because you can feel it when you're not being yourself. You can feel it when you're acting counter to your personal instincts. You can feel it when you are just not 1,000% bought in. And this works, strangely enough, in pretty much any context. One of the first reasons that brought this to mind is with my pirate sponsor, I used to occasionally grab drinks at this fabulous restaurant in Seattle called the Palisades. Palisades, high freaking dollar. I've only actually eaten at the restaurant maybe twice, but I've been in the bar more times than I can count. And I've been in the bar in all manner of clothing. And my upbringing says, oh, well, you can only go there if you're dressed appropriately. And that was drilled into me a lot. You have to change you for the context. This context of you requires you to be dressed well and well behaved and not boisterous. But over time, I realized that, you know what? I'm a patron. My money is as good as anyone else's. And if I feel comfortable going into the Palisades just for a beer or a cup of coffee, just because I really appreciate the experience, then that's more than fine. There's no reason why I shouldn't. The idea that I had to fit a certain context was an implanted understanding that if I were to come in as myself, it would not be acceptable. On a similar circumstance, I was once again with my pirate sponsor. We had just finished an event over the holiday seasons, and he happened to be friends with the owner of one of the more renowned tea shops in town. And so here I am in the early part of December at a remarkably well-appointed tea house where reservations are required weeks in advance around this time of year, dressed like a pirate, sitting back, having tea in an excellent tea shop. Again, my upbringing says, you know what, this isn't right. You're being disrespectful of the owner by not adhering to a certain measure of clothing or dress or sophistication. But again, it was, this was my sponsor's friend's business. She had absolutely no issues with our being dressed there. She was more than comfortable. The only person making me uncomfortable was me. As I've been working on this whole coaching journey, and it is going to be a journey. It's not going to be anything resolved anytime soon. It's going to take a while to become everything I need to be. But there's a couple things that come up. One of them, my wife insists that I really should find some kind of a personal stylist to help improve my look. To get me looking more professional, shirts, ties, coats, all of that, so that I can be a professional speaker. The problem is, that is absolutely not me. And to present myself as such would be completely wrong. And it would be insincere, and it would honestly be against everything that I believe in. I don't prioritize a lot of my appearance because, between body image issues and weight I can't seem to take off, and never really liking to shop because of the aforementioned weight, I've placed a remarkably low priority on my clothing appearance. And if that were to change, people would notice that change, and they would certainly wonder. As long as everything is clean and all the important bits are covered, or at least don't require pixelation, we're good. Now, mind you, my wife also fell for the first bait and switch because when she met me, she thought I was a preppy. Ha ha ha! Fooled her. Similarly, and again, this comes up, and I seem to be just on this recurring topic of profanity because I feel I need to justify my casual use of profanity, not because I personally have an issue with it, but because I feel that people will be put off from it. But again, if people are put off from the actual me, then these are people who will have challenges accepting me for any number of other reasons. It's a big world. There's a lot of fucking people in it. And a lot of them are going to be great for me. A lot of them are going to be an amazing bunch of folks who improve my life and whose lives I can improve with a lot of my no-nonsense, fairly unapologetic, occasionally offensive, casual language. I actually I find that I bother someone at least once every day or two. And as someone who struggles with rejection issues, if I feel that I have done someone wrong or offended them, I will dwell on that shit for weeks, literal weeks. But I can't change how people react to me, so the best thing that I can do is just be me. The loud, obnoxious, look like I fell out of a secondhand store dumpster, scraggly, scratchy, unpleasant individual that look like I sound like I smell funny. But the less that I cling to the expectations of what I have to be for other people, and the more I adhere to the I am comfortable where I am comfortable, and the person who chooses my comfort level is me, not anyone else, then the easier it is to walk around in this matrix-like existence that we have. To walk into any place that I want to grab a drink, to walk into any shop and feel like I belong, to welcome anyone where they are, who they are, how they are, and accept them for just that. And appreciate what they bring to the table, because everybody has their unique nature. One of the challenges of humanity is there's not a whole lot of new stuff. And honestly, I'm a big believer that a lot of things can be predicted just based on existing behavior, upbringing, things along those lines. We haven't quite got the math yet, but we're getting closer every day. The best thing that you can do for you is to be you. And if being you is something that doesn't feel right, it's time to reassess what doesn't feel like you and either reconcile the you with that thing or walk away from that thing. And the challenge is this can affect your job. This can affect your relationships. This can affect your family. Because a lot of times you can't be you with your family. A lot of times your job requires you to absolutely be the opposite of you. And all that's going to happen if you adhere to these and keep following and sticking with these things that don't allow you to be yourself, the more it's going to be a consistent banging your head against the wall, wondering what the hell is wrong. When ultimately what is wrong is you are not letting yourself be you. I'm taking a big chance on trying to become more me. And it's going to take a while for that to succeed, but in the process, I'm feeling a lot better, I'm feeling a lot more relaxed, and I'm feeling a lot more open and able to help other people be them. So, lesson for the day, never not be you. Don't be yourself. Screw that. Just never not be you. Thank you, and have a great evening.